Welcome to My Conversation, a presentation of KAIL-TV My Central Valley. So let's get My Conversation started.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope you're having a great Friday morning. It is My Conversation right here on My Central Valley, KAIL, with your host, Feather DeWise. Getting ready for the weekend. I know that the heat is killing a lot of people, and hopefully your house is ready for that, which brings us to our first guest. If you can, please put your hands together and welcome Mr. Charlie Holmes with FRS Installation and Energy. How are you, sir?
Thank you.
Thanks for being on the show. Appreciate it.
Good to be here, Feather.
All right, now you're the man. Now, with FRS installation, what services do you provide? Let our guests know.
Sure, yeah, well, we do basically, we try to help people reduce their energy bills, make houses a little more comfortable and a little more healthy. And we do that by a few basic energy saving services. Blown-in insulation, attic is a huge one. Whole house fans, attic fans, duct sealing, there's a few other handful of things, but those are our main services. Now,
with the blow-in, that's, you know, I go back a little while, you can tell by the grade with the old school, the rollouts. Now, what's the advantage over the old school?
So basically, it's kind of like if you, the old roll-in insulation, if it's not put in just right, you can have little gaps and air gets in there. Just like at night, if you got your blanket on, you got a nice warm blanket, but if, you know, you got 4 inches sticking up over here, you're not gonna be comfortable. Same thing with insulation. The blow-in kind of fills in all the gaps and settles nicely, and if it's done right, it's just a much better product.
And I'm guaranteeing that you do it right?
We do, yeah.
One of the things I heard you discussing prior to the show was a whole house fan and the advantage of that. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, whole house fans, it's kind of one of those things you have to experience, but to explain it, basically, it's a huge fan that sucks air through the windows in your house and blows it out the attic, versus an attic fan that just sucks it through the attic. So when you use your whole house fan, it's usually in the night or early in the morning when it's cooler outside. Here in Fresno, there's a shorter window of cold air, but you know, for me, about 10, 11 at night, I turn mine on, I leave it all night long, I open a window and it sucks that cool air in, and then I can turn my air conditioner off. And the whole idea is that attic or whole house fans, they cost about pennies an hour to run, versus air conditioners, depending on what your tier you're in, you could be $1 to $3 an hour to run. So a lot more efficient, save you a lot of money, and then kind of bring in the fresh air, clear out all your stale air in your house.
It's the name of the game right now, saving some money, especially with all this heat that we're having here in the valley, man. That is, you definitely need a whole house fan.
Yeah, and a lot of the customers that we put whole house fans actually have had one in the past, so maybe they've moved or they've been around since the 80s, but the newer ones that we sell are the Quiet Cool whole house fans. You go to quietcoolsystems.com and it explains them, has some interesting videos on them. 15-year warranty, they're really efficient to run, really quiet compared to the older ones. Great products.
Looking at this one up that we have the picture of, I noticed, explain the suspension. What is that? What are the advantages of that?
Yeah, so the older fans, right, if you can see that little black box there, those two joists that run, they used to mount the fans right in between that joist. Oh. And there's still some fans that they do that with. The newer ones are the ducted version like that, and the advantages of that is anytime you have any vibration in the fan hooked right to those joists, you get that loud sound right in your house. It vibrates through your house. The newer ducted version, any sound that you hear is dampened through those straps, and then that duct that connects it is an acoustic duct that helps make it a lot quieter. And so they're a lot quieter, and then the motors that they use now are brushless motors and a lot more efficient. So like mine, I run mine almost every night. I spend anywhere from $7 to $10 a month on it, so really cheap.
$7 to $10, not a month?
A month, right. Yeah, versus, like I said, air conditioners, depending on your tier, you're $1 to $3 an hour to run. So anytime I can turn my whole house fan on, turn my air conditioner off, I'm saving $1 an hour.
And that helps keeps it cool throughout the day as well, because you have that all the way.
Exactly, yeah. How I run mine is like I leave it on all night long. And so, what they used to do is they'd turn it on for 20 minutes in the morning and shut it off real quick. And they're super loud and noisy, and so nobody liked using them. But now, really quiet, you run it all night long, and that not only cools the air in your house, it also cools your walls and your concrete, and the whole structure of the house is cool till the next day. So for my house, before I had a whole house fan, I'd turn my air conditioner on in 11 to 12, usually when it starts kicking on. But now it's more like 12, 1, sometimes 2 o'clock before it kicks on.
Oh man.
So
That is, I mean, being in the valley, you can't say enough about the heat and trying to save money on
Exactly,
your air
yeah.
conditioning, and that's one way to go with that whole house fan. And plus, the great advantage is that you can leave it on all night because of the dampening system. Because nobody wants to hear all that vibration.
right,
up
exactly.
above.
Yeah, you still hear a little hush of air going through, but it's compared to the old ones, they're a lot quieter. So.
Let's talk about a couple of other services that you provide. Explain to me what the home energy audit is.
Sure. Basically, we calls all the time. People in our kind of specialty is we can go in the house and get you a good priority list of things that you should do to make your house a little more energy efficient. So we get calls from people that are either have really uncomfortable houses, warm spots, warm rooms, or just their bills are out of control and they don't know why. I'm BPI certified, which is energy specialty certified, to help people reduce money on their bills. So I go in there and just kind of, as a free consultation, say, okay, if this is my house, this is how I always approach it. I would do this first, this. And every house is different. Some houses have plenty of insulation, some have none, some have leaky ducts, some have portable windows, some have inefficient pool pumps. So there's a whole, and you can spend so much money trying to save money, it's kind of, so what I do is I go in there and make a priority list. So this is my house, I do this first, this next, this third, and we have some testing equipment that tests the ducts, see how leaky they are, test the house to see how leaky the house is, and a few other things, but that's basically what I do.
Run down and take a checklist of what to improve, how to improve.
Right, and I totally understand you can't do everything, so it's like, okay, if I'm only going to do one thing on that list, this is what my budget allows for, this is what I would do first.
I'm already a fan of the whole house fan. We were joking about it prior to the show, but that absolutely makes sense to cut down on using your air conditioning and cooling the house off as well. Now, I know that being that we're in the Valley, everybody's going to want the service and try to get in contact with you. How can they reach you? What number can they reach you at for your services?
Sure. My number is 559-372-2813. It's our business line. Usually it rings right to my cell phone. Our website is homeinsulationnow.com. You can enter a little message, send me a message that way, or give me a call anytime.
Incredible. Thank you so much. Give it up one more time for Charlie Holmes with FRS Installation Energy. You guys don't go anywhere. We got more of my conversation right after this.